Welcome all to the Madroit podcast. I am Jordan Haynes, and I'll be here to kind of help steer the ship along with our captain, our founder, Winston Hofer, CEO of Madroit. What's up, Winston?
Jordan, hey man, couldn't do without you. Thanks for the intro.
Dude, pumped to be here. So, guys, after talking and explaining the ins and outs of marketing for quite a long time, we decided to create the Madroid podcast to essentially help others and to kind of be your guiding light into taking some of the mystery out of the world of marketing. So, goal here is to simplify things through some stories and some awesome case studies that we've taken on over our experiences in marketing. So, which kind of leads us, Winston, into our topic today. We're going to be discussing how to reduce the friction for someone to buy from you. So, Winston, just kind of want to start off with what are some of the blockades that are kind of up there for people to do business with you?
Yeah, pain points, right? So to me, getting leads, but you don't actually convert them into anything. Customers, clients, patients. You get them, but you just don't close, whatever that may mean.
So, I think kind of with that is a qualified lead, right? What qualifies a lead as a good lead, a bad lead? Those are some of the fun topics to always have discussions with people with on the sales team about. And a lot of that can kind of stem from the amount of friction that's put in place with them, right? Like if you want people in as top of funnel, let's make it easy for them to engage with you. Let's make it easy for them to give them your information to show basically putting their hand up online to say, I'm interested. Maybe I'm not ready to buy right now, but I'm definitely at least interested. So I think that that kind of leads us into one of the main pieces that we're going to be talking about is where's the friction in your company's marketing and sales? And are you creating too much friction for your potential consumers, or is there maybe not enough even? So kind of onto our main point, Winston, which if you'll kind of take us through that.
Yeah, I mean, so you're always marketing and selling, right? So why are you doing the thing you're doing? Whether it's a landing page that you're driving traffic to, if it's a sign up form on your website, if it's a networking event, why are you doing what you're doing? And it's really the driving force behind all of it. It has to have objectives and the reason behind it, a goal. What are you trying to have happen? But you're always marketing and selling, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean someone handing you a check or a credit card, but it could mean signing up for more information on your website or asking for your phone number to call you.
Yeah, and I think to that point of always marketing and selling, that speaks to a lot of clients that we work with, but then additionally some other companies out there, if you're willing to make it easy for your consumers, they're going to want to come back to you. You're making yourself essentially a an attractive place for somebody to want to do business with, right? Like what are you doing to get them in the door, allow them to show you that they're interested? Because consumers will, right? Myself as a consumer, I'm totally willing to let a company know like, "Hey, I'm interested. It may not be right now, but I'm definitely interested in you continuing to send me information." Like that for me is the most passive, easy way for me to show you like I want info. And then when I'm ready to buy, I'll make my decision because I'm the consumer, I'm in control, right? Which kind of brings me into my next kind of point here in talking about top, middle, and bottom of the funnel. So for me as a consumer and for other consumers as well, you're going to do your research, you're going to be so informed, you're going to be like the Einstein of those gym shorts that you're about to buy. But what you're still doing, you're still on the top of the funnel. You're doing research, you're gaining information, you're taking in insight. And then when you get a little bit more serious, you're going to find like, man, there's some specific options out there that are really engaging to me. I might have to give my information now to then getting to that point where we're at the bottom and it's, man, I'm ready to make my decision. How can I do so easily? Because I've been doing months and months of research or whatever, you know?
You're right. So that the top of the funnel, you need awareness, right? Like no one can buy from you if they don't know who you are. Coca-Cola is to me a marketing company. They do a great job at building awareness, and they happen to sell beverages. But really, what they're doing is creating so much awareness, and people are way more likely to buy from someone who's familiar, whether they know the product or service or not, just because they're familiar. So, awareness, huge.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part for me too. Is like use the example of Coca-Cola. If I use my example of like gym apparel, there's plenty of gym apparel companies out there, and some of them of which I don't know. So a lot of times what it takes is if I'm looking at my buyer's journey as a consumer of gym apparel, there's going to be a brand that I'm meeting and engaging with for the first time. However, they've targeted me and found me. Don't ask me to give you every little piece of information right at the outset. Like, we've just started to get to know each other. We just started dating here. Like, don't ask to walk me down the aisle right away. You know? So that's where I look at it is don't ask too much of me. Let's get to know each other and we'll get there.
Oh, absolutely. So, making it easy to say yes, right? And to what they're saying yes to, it could vary in what information they're sharing. But some people make it so hard on themselves, asking for way too much. Like you said, it's depending on what phase of the funnel or the buying cycle they're in, the appropriate ask may be a little bit of information. It may just be the phone number. It may be a full detailed spec of your house that you want renovations on. But always wanting to make it easy so you can give them, you steer them in one direction, but you make it easy for them to go the route that they prefer. Yeah, it's critical.
It, you're exactly right. And I'll take you through my example of me as a consumer, like, me as a person, married for a long time, like love my family, all that great stuff. Me as a consumer, major commitment issues. Like, good lord, asking me to make a decision on like some of the most basic stuff when it comes to buying something is like the most massive task. Drives my wife nuts. But what I look at is make it easy for me. Show me that you're willing to get involved, like gather my information, take my interest, right? But don't try to make me take this step and that step and that step all in one visit to your website. So that's the experience that I had from an e-commerce standpoint is like you have to keep it simple for them. For me, I should speak to myself, but keep it simple for me. Don't force me to give you each and every piece of information right off the bat for what I'm interested in. And then you can start to feed me information more and more so that I'm eventually ready to take my interest to the next level and make a purchase.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, e-commerce, one thing, talking to local service companies and seeing so many, right? And working with so many. Some do it really well already. They make it really easy to get a quote. Some you can tell they get a lot of requests for quotes and things. So they try to collect more and more information to make it easier. Both are great. Wanting, I've had some where it's like, I'm not ready to give you this much information about my house and what I need in a form that says you're going to give me this quoted price right online. Like it's such a big ask, and you see people drop off from a conversion standpoint so often. But you add in something to make it really easy so they can take that fully online approach to getting a quote, or they can simply request a follow-up call. So getting a quote or a consultation, whether it's free or paid, but getting your phone number and email, maybe address for someone who services homes in a local area, it's really important. And to me, it actually kind of stems into the one really important part too is like following up. If someone's given you some bit of information, especially from a local service standpoint or a B2B standpoint, B2C even, right? Like you have to follow up quickly. And when you do it, the sale is way more likely. So submitting a little bit of information and having someone follow up right away is critical to sales. It's really the handoff between marketing and sales.
You're not going to meet one person from a local service company that doesn't want to talk to you about how good their close rate is. Like that's the reality of it, right? If I can get you on the phone or if I can get you in the seat, my close rate's phenomenal from a sales standpoint. And ultimately what leads them to doing it is really freaking good marketing setup on the front end to then
Yeah.
have them again raising my hand, I want to call. Okay, we'll give you your call. And now it is in the hands of your very accomplished sales staff, I'm sure, to go ahead and close that deal. So that's, yeah, I love that point. And I love that example just because everybody feels good if they can get them on the phone or get them in person. But again, it's about not preventing your consumers from taking that step. So
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, the goal for this, the goal for this particular topic, want to reduce the friction for your consumers to buy from you by taking some easy steps to either allow them to reach out to you, get in touch with you, or just to gain more information from you and realize that the buyer journey could be a little bit longer in some cases. Also knowing that there's going to be instances where you're going to hit that person that's at the bottom of the funnel and they're going to want to reach out to you right away. So, Winston, outstanding stuff as always.
Great job, Jay.
So, guys, thanks again so much. If you find yourself with any questions, please visit our website, majormarketing.com/podcast, and we'd love to chat with you. Thanks so much.